and that is, you are one, to my knowledge, you are the only man who has played an active role in the Society for the Psychology of Women. Can you describe how that came to be, how that came about?
Well, okay, how did it come about? I think it was an APA convention, I believe in New Orleans, around 1971. There was a symposium that Rhoda Unger chaired dealing with women and gender. I remember Nancy Henley was on the panel. I don't remember the others. I thought it was fascinating, and I had been active in some women's liberation kinds of activities in Iowa.
Okay.
And I came up to Rhoda afterwards and asked her if men could be involved in this thing, and she said, "Oh, of course," and invited me to come to the Division 35 business meeting, or some meeting like that, Division 35. Anyway, so I started going to some of those kinds of things. There was an AWP conference around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier, I can't remember. And I remember calling Sharon Lord, who was in charge of it, and asking her if men could come. And she said, "If you have the sense enough to ask, of course you can come." And there were some other men at the time, Alan Gross, Ron Smith, other men who were at least attending conferences like AWP, although I don't think they were active on the executive committee. So I played some small roles. I helped analyze some data from Martha Mednick's presidential address. I maybe did task force kind of thing. And Barbara Walston called me and said she was running for president-elect, and she thought it was time for men to be involved. And would I run for secretary-treasurer? And I said, "I'll get back to you." It was a complete surprise. And I asked my wife. She said no, that she didn't think it was a good idea. She thought women ought to be running feminist organizations. I called two people. I called Rhoda, and I called Jenny O'Leary. And both of them encouraged me to do it. And so I ran. And I lost. Meryl Grossman won. When she found out, at the time the division had no money, when she found out that they couldn't, she had to pay her own way to executive committee meetings and lose private practice money, she said she couldn't do the job. And so there was a sort of a constitutional crisis, because there wasn't anything, provisions of what happens if an elected officer can't do it. So the EC decided that the person who came in second. So that's how I got to be secretary-treasurer, and how I got involved, actually.